Hey everybody, we are here with Amy Wong, Oregon Organic Coalition.
Good job, that is correct, yes.
Because it's like trying to get through organically grown white. I'm like, whew.
There's a lot of O's and a lot of G's.
And when we were on the coast, there's like so many OOCs, OCC, CC. I'm just whew, it gets...
Acronym soup city.
Who invented this language? Why do we have so many things so close together? What's happening today is because of this amazing person sitting right here,
and the farmers,
but you getting it together and making it free and making it accessible and helping spread that word. We met Amy a year ago, almost a year ago. Good Food Awards weekend at the PSU Farmers Market, and then throughout that awards weekend. And we keep joking. Every time we try to get a hold of each other, she's off in Turin at the mothership of slow and organics and stuff. But thank you for all that you do. I'm going to say that now. I'm going to say it at the end. And let's just jump right into this stuff.
Sure.
Let's talk about all the things.
Yeah.
And Dan Rinke said we got to talk the top thing. Any of the stuff that you want to talk about today, the stuff going on, your other work and all the things.
Sure.
And thank you for thinking of us and for letting us be the ones to kind of get a good hold on getting
the story.
Spread the word, as Drew said, making organic more cool than uncool.
Absolutely. I'm so appreciative of it. So let me back up quickly and just say the Oregon Organic Coalition was founded in 2004, incorporated in 2008, and I like to say that we really are aiming for the organic principles of health, ecology, fairness, and care, but we really work to advance the development and the growth of the organic industry, practices, and community in Oregon. And my vision is resilient regional food systems rooted in organic practices. And we are not just about certified organic, we're really about the organic practices proliferating to a much further extent. And this event, we are so fortunate that USDA had allocated $300 million to the Organic Transition Initiative. And 2 of the 3 grant streams for that are, one of them is TOP, Transition to Organic Partnership Program. And that is what is definitely funding this first part of the day, the field tours, and really connecting producers to potentially explore becoming certified organic. And so TOP is a program that is offering support to people who are interested in transitioning. It has mentors and mentees, so it really helps hold people's hand and can save them that money. Instead of hiring a consultant, they can use TOP to help them get through the process. Nice. Another stream of the grant is the Organic Market Development Grant, and so I'd say that is what has created this beautiful artwork, and also thanks to the Culinary Breeding Network, shout out to Lane Selman, because marketing is about selling the story through art, and so we've been also fortunate to have some of that money, and let's hope it continues. It's kind of all caught up in what's going on, but glad we got to do today.
Again, we'll timestamp it is March 2025 in the United States of America. So we are.
Exactly. So, normally my work is at the state advocacy level, and we've been successful in securing millions of dollars for resilient regional food systems in the form of, we started along with organic stakeholders, the Organic Extensions Program at Oregon State University. Yes. And we now have, this is the first of its kind. It is so exciting. The last one just joined 5 extension specialists across cropping systems. Okay. And again, these are helping all farmers, not just certified organic, anyone interested in low input ecological practices. These people are there and specialized in it. And so that's wildly exciting. Those are going to be some amazing stories to tell from all of these extension specialists. Currently, we're working to get a organic policy specialist at Oregon Department of Agriculture. Okay. And that bill is successfully down in Ways and Means. It was voted out unanimously of committee, which is really good. So this market building work that has come about through the grant has been really fun to, I'll be honest, put my toe in areas I'm not used to, like putting on events, but it's really fun. And I love that this came about, no pun intended, organically by, I know Rob Schultz from Lemelson, I know Eric Lemelson as well, Portland, they had Rob had created this, network of organic growers who are, going into the wine. You can't make that label claim, but they knew what they were doing in terms of the practices, and met Drew, and they had planned this, and they needed support, so we just got to come on board to come together. And I love kind of flipping the script and having the day be about the farming methods and the farmers, especially in the wine world. I think it's a lot of time it's the winemaker, the owner, and this is like, hey, we're going to show you from the grassroots up.
I was just talking to Tony Soder, and I saw him poking around back here. I'm like, and it's that, talking to Drew on the phone the other day too about the practices. It's not just about getting that little stamp on stuff, and it's so hard too if it's not even, it has to be grapes, any kind of thing, but if your neighbor is not practicing and the wind blows or the rain runoff or this or that, but when you're doing the right thing, and the whole, we'll use the word community yet once again, but the ecosystem of it all and how it all works. Then getting that to the people, getting it out to the public, and they want to know these days. They want to know more. They want to understand. And the people who want to get into it, like, we may be all trying to grow our own stuff and do our own things here, and we should in a way, because it's how it started. And let's just get back to doing it that way. But getting the word out about these things it can do. But again, it's not just going for the certification, but those practices and what's right by the community, the land, the people. Like, there's a big picture. When I think about the 3 pillars of ROC, like, that's cool that we've got all of these things connected, because it is, man.
It is so, one world, absolutely. I mean, in a perfect world, we would all know every single producer, and we would have we would talk to them about how they produce. That's unfortunately not reasonable or feasible for everybody. We urbanized as a society. There's things we can't get here in the Pacific Northwest in the dead of winter, and there are a time and a place for certification schemes, like when you need to know. But yes, I agree. It's about a bunch. Widen that lens out.
Absolutely. And the people who care and who are into it. And I love seeing, where I've been sitting here today, just seeing everybody coming in, who's been here today, what's been involved, and knowing that it was this coffee group.
I know.
This coffee group.
Coffee clutches run the world.
And here we are.
My husband's been in one for like 30 years in Portland. It has moved around.
So great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They do. They really get a lot done.
Well, what else do you think you'd like to tell folks about what you're about?
I would say that, especially at this point in time, state level advocacy, I know it's not like the sexiest thing. I know it's not the most exciting thing. And I think in the past, people are like, oh, you're working at the state level. Sorry, I'm only looking at the federal level. I don't think we can count on the federal to come and help us. The cavalry's not coming. I mean, and I said this well before this past administration. Right. The Farm Bill, still don't have a permanent one. And when I look at facing extreme weather, facing these events, what matters is a resilient regional food system. What we saw during the pandemic, the breakdown of supply chains, like we shouldn't be shipping food all over the world. Sure, there's some things that commodities, yes, but when we look at our food systems and when we look at adapting to these changing conditions, we need to have resilient regional food systems. And that's what I look at in my work. Oregon has long been a leader in organic. We actually started to promulgate the first standards here. They got rolled into the federal standards. So the Pac Northwest, Washington too, has a very long history. The birth of Tilth Alliance, which also led into Oregon Tilth, all started here on the Pac Northwest. So we have a long history. I feel like that story hasn't been told well enough. I want to keep telling that story. Yeah. And
we got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
Chris Schreiner is going to be here later, the executive director of Oregon Tilth. We also have the ability, we're so fortunate in the types of soils we have here and the weather that we have here. We really can feed ourselves here. We have like the amazing coast, we have the wine, we really have got it all. And I want to make sure that we are making the resources and the training and the education, all of this available to our growers, the infrastructure needs so that we can truly feed ourselves long term. I think that's what is needed. So, yeah.
Way back in our first edition, and we had not yet moved from the coast to Portland. We're in the process, but we hadn't quite made it. And so I was the main writer, and I just, went for the low-hanging fruit to go to winemakers and vineyard managers that we knew. And because of John's background, there were quite a few of them. But anyway, I ended up talking with Bree
And Chad Stock.
And I remember her talking about, and I have to go back and read it to be sure I get it right, but that she was talking about that in school, she goes, in the schools, in the colleges, they're not teaching it right. And I was, really? And she goes, yeah, no, you need to go, go look at this. It's not being properly taught. And I thought, well, if you think you want to go into this and you're going to go to, I don't know, UC Davis or wherever, but you're not going to get what you really need, that's a tough one. So the more people that know, the more we can spread.
Yeah, and it takes all of the groups and the slow food thing and all the different, and not getting preachy but getting the word out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key.
Yeah.
And people are hungry for it.
People are very hungry.
I think so.
We get so many puns going.
I know. No, it's true. It's true. All the data that comes out, Organic Trade Association actually does a really great job with doing a bunch of consumer-facing type of data, and education is always needed. We saw that too. We had an economic assessment done in Oregon for, 5 different emerging sectors were deemed by the legislature an emerging sector, and money was allocated to do an assessment. And one of them was the blue economy and the ocean. And organic was one. And we found in that definitely education was needed, and as well as that we are importing a bunch of organic food that clearly there's a market for that we could be growing here ourselves.
Get back to Brazil.
Yeah, back to that. Yep.
100%.
And and it's the market of the future. We were chatting earlier before. I was at Organicology, an amazing conference last weekend, and we had this great Gen Z marketing team from U of O did this fantastic presentation. They were so eloquent and did such a great job. And Gen Z is the generation, compared to all of us, that want to be buying organic, probably because they see what's going on and they know that their food choices have impacts on the world. And so they are, when possible, they will pay more for organic, more so than any other generation, and they are going to outstrip demand. And so knowing that they know, they're learning more about the organic label and that they are drawn to it is, I think, a really good selling point for people moving forward when you're making business decisions as well. When you're thinking about transitioning to organic, this is the market of the future that wants it, and that's exciting for me.
Yeah. No, that's really cool.
I hear a lot of older farmers, grizzled, beaten down, understandably, and they're like, "What gives you hope?" And I said that these younger generations are coming around. The boomers are like, "Nah, whatever." Understandable. It's the market of the future, which is exciting.
Pointed at me when she said that.
I did not mean to.
You're the one that goes around telling everybody you graduated in 1968. So
I'm teasing.
Well, it's funny you say that, because last weekend at the conference I was at, the person who was presenting the data said, "Oh, I'm actually a millennial. I'm not Gen X, just to be clear." So yes, everybody is very concerned about that. But
but no, you're absolutely right. Oh, I've seen it happen as I've grown. So
yeah. I mean, and there's always exceptions. There's people who care about food. And I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes it's innate, sometimes it's nurture, both. But yeah, I mean, you meet people who just really care about their food. They really value real food. They're willing to pay more for real food.
When Mom and Dad moved from the South back to the Bay Area, where they met, and Mom and Dad was like, "I'm not raising my child in the South. No harm, no foul." But so we're going back to California. I remember living in the crew bunkhouse on an orchard till I figured out, okay, thank you to my Chinese uncle who had an orchard, a pear orchard, until Mom and Dad found this is where we're gonna live. What's gonna happen? And that then going into taking me down to Napa and Sonoma and over to the Sonoma coast and the Marin coast and all of that, and then out in the valley around all of that ag for me, that's how I'll always see California. I don't see it in the
Yes.
It's not Hollywood. It's not this. It's not that. It's that. And they didn't know it, but it was impressing upon me. And, going through the 80s and all that, we've seen food, all the sizes and all the things.
All the foams.
All the phones and stuff. But, for me, sitting like where I'm sitting right now, looking out at this vineyard and I'm watching all of these, the birds, the squirrels, and I'm watching all this happening as we're having these conversations, thinking about exactly, here's the real-time thing of what we're talking about today and things that you are talking about. And this is what people want to know. And I'm like, thank you that at 3 and 5 and whatever, that this is how it was imprinted upon me. Not make food to go get the awards or be around grapes to do this, but the community and taking care of Mother Earth and all the stuff and everybody.
Yeah.
And so seeing that these things have been going, I always joke, the first time I heard farm to fork or farm to table, I'm like, what is that? Isn't that just how it's done? Like, I'm sorry. I thought that's just how it always is. But yeah, this is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you for all the stuff that you do.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I told you I was
for
going to
what
get in the
you're
beginning
doing.
and the end.
I appreciate that very much.
Very appreciated. Very
Yes.
appreciated.
Well, I look forward to more collaboration.
More
Yeah,
collaborations,
absolutely.
absolutely. It's we got to do it. Even if we got to Zoom from halfway across, we will get up at 2 a.m. so that you can.
I'm happy to.
So it's not in the middle of
Yeah, Eric Garman and I think he was just coming home from Paris. I had just landed in Bangkok. It was weird times for both, but we both oddly had jet lag, so we were wide awake. We're like, let's just talk on the phone right now.
Yeah.
When I would do prep after service over on the coast, I would FaceTime with a chef over in Cornwall.
Yeah.
He was coming in as I was
Yep.
going out, and we just.
Yep. Yeah, you have to
what's
find
going
those
on?
times.
How are you doing? What's
Yeah.
up?
Well, too, my friends, I believe, are involved with Edible Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They're doing some great stuff
I
down
know.
there.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Those farmers markets also really had a big. I went to school in Santa Barbara and lived there for a long time. I also grew up in the Bay Area, Sonoma County. So all of these food regions really impact, and that's where I'm like, no, this is what food is.
This
to
is
me.
what
And I want to
food is.
protect it and I want to grow it.
I'm also
and
tired of
promote
paying $8 for a Meyer lemon in Oregon when they're just free there. Or like, please take them. Please take them.
Yeah. My sister lived near a house that had a Meyer lemon tree, and it was at the fence, So off they would come,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm with a bag,
Yeah. Oh, I know. My family they live in Sebastopol, and I brought home a huge bag, and
Yes.
I have 2 left, but I'm going down there in April. I hope
Yes.
I
There you
can
go.
find some more.
Replenish.
Yes. Well, thank you both. I really
Yeah.
appreciate this.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Just keep your eye open for all of this that's going on, for Amy and the things that she is involved in, this group of wineries that are talking and
Grape growers. Yeah. Grape growers.
I'm sorry, excuse me, the grape growers who are talking to each other about how to do it right, and other growers of all kinds of products. It's what's important, and it's really what is at the heart of what Edible Portland wants to show people. So,
Very
thank
much
you.
so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks,
Sounds
Steve.
good. Okay.
All right.